Hey hey, bienvenue à tous au MOG de fin d'année. Je suis très heureux d'être avec vous ce soir. Merci au public qui est ici, merci au public qui est en stream. Ce soir, nous avons le grand honneur d'avoir Matt Black. Wow, 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 wow. Un grand applaudissement à Matt Black d'être ici. Merci beaucoup, Matt.
Merci.
Thank you very much. C'est un grand plaisir d'avoir un des membres de Coldcut ainsi que le fondateur du label Ninja Tunes avec nous pour la fin de l'année. Donc il y aura une interview qui va se dérouler avec Laura B. Merci à Laura d'être là aussi. Ensuite, comme d'habitude, il y aura une petite pause de 15-20 minutes. Restez avec nous parce qu'en deuxième partie, nous allons avoir Stéphane. Merci à Stéphane d'être ici. Merci beaucoup. Stéphane, avec Malcolm, son manager, il fera un concert, un live set, et ensuite une masterclass pour découvrir ses techniques et son DIY. Eh bien, régalons-nous. Merci.
Bonsoir en live de la Halle Tropisme à Montpellier. Nous avons donc le plaisir de recevoir Matt ce soir. Matt qui nous a préparé une présentation déjà traduite en français, et spécialement, qui va nous expliquer son parcours musical et artistique, qui va nous permettre de comprendre le contexte dans lequel lui, il a évolué artistiquement. On va voir que c'est un voyage qui a commencé dans la musique, qui est ensuite parti vers l'audiovisuel. Et donc on va voir cette présentation qui est super. Ensuite, Matt va nous montrer un plugin qui s'appelle Midivolve, qui est un plugin qui marche dans Live, bien sûr, qui est conçu à peu près à moitié-moitié Max for Live et Ableton, puisqu'on va voir qu'il y a, en fait, c'est un arpégiateur sequencer qui travaille avec des racks. Et ensuite, nous allons passer sur le canapé à notre droite et Matt répondra à vos questions. Voilà. Matt, je te laisse nous faire ta présentation.
Hello. It's working. Hey, bonsoir, messieurs, mesdames. Good to be here. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you. And hello to everyone watching on the live stream. Good to be with you. Would you like to switch over to the presentation from the laptop? Is that? Yep. Okay. So the talk is Art électronique, musique et software. And good to be here at MOG. So I'll talk a bit about my history, the story that got me here. When I was a child, I was very interested in science fiction, in music and technology. And I used to do sound and light shows for my family. That's what my mum called me. That was a good bit of encouragement. And Fantasia, the Disney film, which is about the relationship between music and animation, was a big influence. At school, we ran a little radio station, and a friend of mine and I built an analog synthesizer for a kit from a magazine. And then at university, my friends and I got very interested in black music, African, reggae, soul, funk, and hip-hop. And so I wanted to learn to be a DJ, a hip-hop DJ, and do the scratching hip-hop mixing style. My first job on moving to London was a computer programmer, and then I started to get some DJ work in evenings on the London underground scene, which was a very exciting mixed scene of all different cultures and races, all enjoying music. So then I met my partner, Jonathan Moore, in 1986 at Reckless Records. A good place to hang out and meet people is second-hand record shops. And we wanted to make a record ourselves because we loved these records from New York by Double D and Steinsky, which were called The Lessons. And they were some of the first cut-up records. So using a 4-track cassette and turntables, we made our first record and made 500 vinyl 12 inches and sold them from Jonathan's shop, Reckless Records. So that was our first track, and mixed Funky Drummer with King of the Swingers. Excuse me, down with the feed here, whilst I just swap this over. Can you just mute that for a second? Is that down? Okay, let's try that.
Eat it, bunker. Now I'm the king of the swingers, oh, the jungle VIP. I've reached the top and had to stop, and that's what's bothering me. I wanna be a man cub, and stroll right into town, and be just like the other men. I'm tired of moving around, oh.
So that's certainly a family favorite. I'd like to hear the French version, actually. You know, something that I've seen work many times is a heavy beat and then a sweet or funny vocal on top. So in a way, that was our first go.
Attends, peut-être je vais traduire ça. Matt dit qu'il y a quelque chose qu'il a vu qui marche chaque fois. C'est un beat très lourd, très fort, et une voix par-dessus. Ouais.
Something heavy, something stupid, or something sweet.
Alors, quelque chose stupide et quelque chose doux, doux, sweet.
Yeah.
Ouais.
Yeah, particularly a female vocal, which we'll hear in a minute, actually. So Island Records wanted us to do a remix of Paid in Full, and we got paid £700 only. Later, we did our own version called Not Paid Enough. But it did get us on the cover of the NME, which was a big result, and that sounded like this. This is the voice of Opera Hazar from Israel.
You make me feel so good.
Again, a good beat and something sweet, a female vocal. So now starts the story of Ninja Tune. So we had some quite big hits with Yaz and Lisa Stansfield, and we signed to Big Life Records. But we found ourselves quite soon in a bad contractual situation, and we couldn't use the name Coldcut to release our own records. So we started the Ninja Tune identity as a new identity so we could do what we wanted. And we started it as an independent label. So we had some of pseudonyms like DJ Food, Bogus Order, but these were just Jonathan and myself trying on different musical identities. And then other artists liked the Ninja Tune attitude, and 30 years later, we're still here, and we have got some fantastic artists. I know Bonobo is popular in France. Everyone know Bonobo? It's a really fine artist. And Odessa have been a big band for us in the States. Cinematic Orchestra, a fantastic band. And Young Fathers, new school of hip-hop, brilliant, a brilliant outfit as well. And sometimes music business is hard to make a living. It can be a hard business. But so Ninja Tune, you only need one good business idea. And so Ninja Tune has been our best business idea. So then we became interested in taking the idea, the hip-hop really, aesthetics and techniques of DJing and applying it to visuals. Perhaps you could, I didn't put this in, but we realized that on stage, Jonathan and I were not particularly great performers to look at. And so one reason that we started visuals is to have something else interesting to look at on screen.
Donc Matt disait qu'avec Jonathan, quand ils étaient sur scène, eh ben, ils étaient très busy sur leur contrôleur, etc. et qu'il n'y avait pas grand-chose à voir visuellement et que donc ils ont voulu combler le gap en développant leur visuel.
So we started taking music ideas and applying them to visuals. You can mix visuals, you can sample them, you can sequence them, you can loop them, you can repeat them, you can cut them, you can scratch them, you can process them. And like in music, I find mixing things is good. Sometimes mixing synthesizers and sampling can be cool. And with visuals, synthesizers are a bit like computer graphics and abstract imagery, but they can be a bit too clean. And then sampling, which is a bit like film and photographs, real world figurative images, they can be nice and dirty. So by mixing the clean and dirty, you get an interesting mixture. So we'll look at some of the, quickly at some of the examples, because this direction for the last 30 years has been quite fruitful for us. Here's a simple animation from an Amiga computer, 1988. The same beat. So that, again, using a beat and then putting animation to it, manual synchronization. But we wanted to do something more complicated, and working with Stuart Warren Hill in 1996, we made this audiovisual cut-up timber, which was made on an Adobe Premiere timeline and a video vision card, which was an audiovisual sampler. You could plug a camera or a video into it and sample the audio and the video together. And so we made a rhythmic audio-visual collage called Timber. What you see, I think we'll stop there.
Alors,
Thank you.
donc c'était la vidéo Timber. Et j'ai une question pour Matt, je pense qu'on l'a tous un peu sur les lèvres, parce que quand on voit la synchronisation qu'il y a entre l'image et le son, on se demande qu'est-ce qui est venu d'abord, l'image ou le son, ou comment est-ce que la vidéo a été conçue. Est-ce que vous avez travaillé d'abord avec les images ou avec le son?
It's a good question. Which is first, sound or image? God said, in the beginning was the Word. So actually, many things start with the sound. And this track started with the sound, and it contains a loop from a very well-known electronic producer and musician from France, whose name I won't say right now.
Okay.
But it was built on an audio loop, and then we added the samples, the audiovisual samples on top of it.
Donc voilà, donc, le morceau a commencé avec une boucle, une loupe, d'un producteur de musique électronique français très connu, que nous ne nommerons pas. Et ensuite, tu as rajouté des samples audio. D'accord. Donc, tu as fait la musique d'abord. The music has been composed first, sorry.
The starting point.
Starting
but
point, yes.
Sometimes it's you don't just have the music and then make the visual. We had a starting piece of music, we added the audio-visual things, then we added some more music, like the bass line and the pads,
Okay.
and then the lovely woman singing, the voice. Again, it's a heavy beat and a sweet female voice on top.
Ok, donc toujours la même valeur de production, d'avoir un beat très lourd et une jolie voix de femme, et que donc il a commencé plutôt avec les drums. You started with the rhythm.
Often it starts with the rhythm.
With the rhythm.
Yes.
Donc il a commencé
That's
avec le
right.
rythme. Ensuite, il a introduit des images, et après les images, il a commencé à introduire la basse et les pads, donc les nappes, et ensuite encore des visuels, more visuals, and then the female voice on top. So un peu un ping-pong.
Yeah, it's a ping pong, exactly. Yeah. So we have the idea then of audio-visual effects. You put a filter acid effect on the bass, you put a kind of acidic effect on the visuals, and then you have them at the same time, and this creates a relationship which we could call an audio-visual effect.
Ok, je vais peut-être traduire ça, parce que c'est super intéressant comme concept. C'est que Matt a développé une compréhension de ce qu'il fait en audiovisuel, qui est que quand il applique par exemple un filtre acide sur une ligne de basse, une 303 par exemple, il a aussi développé un filtre acide synchronisé au même moment sur les visuels. Donc il arrive en fait à penser en termes de processeur audiovisuel.
In effect, audiovisual acid, you could say. So what we found as we researched this relationship, and that we've called this the AV. AV is the art of audiovisual relationship. We're investigating, we're playing with audiovisual relationships to see which ones work. And like with human relationships, we find that certain ones work better than others, and life is kind of about finding the relationships that work. And those relationships, audiovisual relationships, are plastic, which means they're flexible, they're fluid. We can create them as we like. So I think we've made that point now.
Ouais,
So.
ok. Ouais, ok.
Yeah, so that was, you saw audiovisual acid effects there. We wanted to be able to do this kind of thing live, so we made our VJam software in 1997. This was like a piano that you could load different audiovisual samples in and reverse them, pitch them up and down, and that was made with these guys called CamArt, who programmed it. And this is what our equipment for the 1997 live show looked like. And on the right-hand side, you can see the double crossfader, which was a kind of circuit bending, if you translate that.
Oui, alors dans l'écran, l'image qui est en bas à droite, c'est un crossfader où il y a deux crossfaders. Je ne sais pas si vous voyez bien. Il y a le crossfader du haut qui est sur la console de mixage de DJ et le crossfader du bas qui est un crossfader vidéo. Et tout ça pour extrapoler encore en hardware le concept d'avoir un effet pour l'audio et le visuel simultané.
Nicely translated. That picture there is from a live show at the Pompidou Centre. And I must say, France has always been very supportive of Coldcut and our work with audiovisual. The strong artistic tradition and interest in France has made us very welcome here, so thank you for that. In 2008 to 2010, we made a whole film using these techniques, and we feel that our art should be about something. It should have a theme. Sometimes the themes are political, sometimes they're environmental, and I'm sure you realize that right now, climate change and the environment are still a huge issue. Maybe you could translate that. That's not on this.
Oui, Matt dit qu'en 2008-2010, ils ont fait un long métrage. Bah, vous voyez bien la traduction. Oui. Et qu'il trouvait que tous les problèmes environnementaux qu'il y a, notamment le climate change, le changement de climat, etc., était un sujet primordial qui devait être absolument traité. Et donc, ils l'ont fait avec ce long métrage, avec tous les outils qu'ils avaient développés auparavant.
So this was combining electronic music, cut up a DJ-style mix, and then sampled and processed visuals, animation, and text. And so we had a crew of 5 people. Actually, there was quite a lot of other people to make this the most complex audiovisual work we'd made. And it was a bit like being a film director. Is that un réalisateur? Is that a director? Right. A realizer. I like that. So then we did 20 concerts around Europe doing an audiovisual mix of this, using the sound playing out of an Ableton timeline. Luckily in Ableton you can also play video from the timeline as well. And we were talking earlier about, what is a live show? How live is live? Well, this was a kind of live mix of a timeline, but we wanted to get it perfect. So that, I'll just play a little bit of it. I'll jump around a bit. Energy Union.
Don't get fooled again. I choose change.
Solutions. So that was our advert, if you like, for environmental consciousness.
Donc c'était une publicité pour la conscience environnementale.
Thank you. Okay. So we have some other software apps, and there's three free ones: Zen Breaks, the Coldcut Robbery, and Ninja Jam. So if you go to coldcut.net, you'll find links to all these, and they are part of our work, and we want people to enjoy them. One is a game, one is a visual synthesizer, and one is a music-making app. And we'll come to the new music-making app soon.
Okay, I'm going to translate that because
Sure.
the screen didn't show it.
Oh.
Matt a dit qu'il a conçu 3 logiciels qui sont Zen Breaks 2. Peut-être on peut montrer son écran. Zen Breaks, Robbery et Ninja Jam. et qui sont 3 logiciels gratuits, voilà, que vous pouvez trouver sur le site de Matt, donc coldcut.net, et un logiciel payant, Jam Pro, qu'on va voir tout à l'heure.
Which we'll come to in a minute. Okay.
Robbery est un jeu musical. Is it a musical game?
It's a game where you have to get the bankers into jail.
C'est un jeu où il faut mettre les banquiers en prison.
Best place for them, right? Cool. So please do check out Coldcut and get these games and software and enjoy them. So now we come to one of our products. And this is MIDivolve for Ableton, as we're here at the Ableton Users Group. And so I wanted to do something which worked with live, and a friend at Ableton suggested this collaboration to make a Max for Live product. So MIDivolve is the result, and it's a kind of algorithmic arpeggiator with custom racks of sounds. So this is available from the Ableton online shop, and it's my first ever profitable software app. It's hard to, if you're doing something new or if you're doing music, it can be hard to get paid. But what made the difference here was having the partnership with Ableton, who are, the leading company in music software, and they already had the platform and the shop. So partnering with them, we managed to come up with something which actually people liked and would give money for. The sound racks were created with a certified Ableton trainer, Emil, who's called Burr, from Johannesburg in South Africa. And we'll try and have a quick demo of MIDivolve now. So let me see if I can switch out of that and switch to Ableton. The idea is, I love arpeggiators.
Ok, Matt adore les arpeggiateurs.
But all the notes in the arpeggiator are the same length.
Toutes les notes ont la même longueur.
And there's no space.
Il n'y a pas d'espace.
So I wanted a super arpeggiator.
Donc il voulait un super arpeggiateur.
Also, I love Steve Reich
Aussi, il aime beaucoup Steve Reich.
and his masterpiece, Music for 18 Musicians, is my favorite piece of music.
Et Musique pour 18 musiciens, qui est sa pièce préférée.
But I do not have his musical talent,
Mais il n'a pas son talent musical.
so I need software to help me.
Donc il avait besoin de software pour l'aider.
So this is an attempt in that direction. So I've got a push here. I haven't given this demonstration before, so please bear with me. Are you going to translate as I go?
Yes.
So MIDivolve it comes with a set of instruments, and each instrument is a sequencer and a sound rack.
Ok. MIDivolve est un ensemble d'instruments et chaque instrument a son séquenceur et ses racks associés.
That's what the sequencer looks like. And this is one of the racks
Ça, c'est
Cool.
un rack.
called the Embiratron.
Et il s'appelle Embiratron.
So what does it sound like? Let's have a listen. So you see the sequence playing,
Donc vous voyez la séquence qui joue.
and the sequence has a set of notes in. Now I can just move these notes about,
Comme dans un séquenceur, on peut bouger les notes.
but the interesting part is generating the sequences and then changing them.
Ok. Mais le truc intéressant, c'est de générer des séquences et ensuite de les modifier.
Let's use the riff mode to start with.
Ok, on va commencer en riff mode.
I just press a key, till I hear something that I like. I like that.
Donc chaque fois que Matt joue sur une clé d'un clavier ou du push, il génère une nouvelle séquence. Et là, il aime
Ok.
bien celle-ci, donc il va rester avec.
Now, the thing about mid-evolve is the evolve means that it can change things automatically.
Voilà, le bouton Evolve va changer des choses automatiquement.
I can double the length of that sequence.
Donc il peut doubler la longueur de la séquence.
Oh, sorry, there we go. And then I can mutate it again.
Et il peut utiliser Evolve, deuxième fois.
And here are these controls where this evolution process, the randomization process, I have control over. So I love randomness with control.
Yes. Matt dit qu'il aime le random avec du contrôle. En fait, il m'a dit tout à l'heure qu'il mettait de l'ordre dans le chaos. Et donc ici, il peut choisir quels paramètres il choisit de évoluer.
So, for example, the pitch, here's the pitch. I can just change the pitch of notes. And this is the chance that they will be changed, and this is the amount that they will be changed.
Ok. Donc la quantité de change, d'évolution, et la chance d'évolution. La chance d'évolution, disons que si elle est sur 20%, il y aura 20% de notes dont le pitch va être changé.
Just have one bar now. Now this auto evolve, what this does is automatically makes the sequence evolve according to these parameters here. So it will do this every one cycle. At the moment, one cycle is one bar.
Donc le paramètre auto évolve les paramètres toutes les une répétition ou deux répétitions ou trois répétitions ou quatre, comme il est maintenant.
And what I find with randomness is that if something is completely random, there's no groove, so you don't get into the rhythm of it. What you need to have is a pattern that when you repeat something, it becomes a pattern, it becomes a rhythm, and then after a while you change it. So here, for example, now this will change every 4 bars. Let me do a new sequence.
Ok, pendant ce temps. Ok, ce Matt disait que quand quelque chose est complètement random, il n'y a pas de groove. Donc il travaille avec un pattern, ou une pattern, et ensuite il l'a fait évoluer, modifier
Change.
pour garder cette groove tout en ayant une pattern qui évolue.
So we can just leave that evolving away here. Let's have a look at a couple of other functions. The map is like MIDI controllers, which you can use to control functions in the instrument. So here, for example, the filter frequency is being controlled by that controller.
Voilà, donc il y a deux paramètres qui peuvent être mappés sur le séquenceur qui eux-mêmes vont modifier des paramètres qui sont dans les racks.
Of course, I can draw these in manually. So you can make it quite precise.
Il peut les modifier manuellement, donc ça peut être un travail très précis.
Okay, let's look at another mode, the arpeggio mode.
Donc, on passe au mode arpeggio.
Okay, here's a normal arpeggio. Just a normal arpeggiator. It can go up, it can go down, it can go up and down, it can go random. But here's this more interesting function. It's called the Euclidean fill. So maybe let me just reduce the density. Oh, here's a good control. The density reduces the number of notes.
Okay, la densité réduit le nombre de notes.
It's nice to make space.
Ouais, c'est bien de faire de l'espace.
Okay, so should we try and explain the Euclidean function? We were looking at the Euclidean rhythm on the internet just now. So you want to explain?
Ok, je vais essayer. Ok, donc il y a un paramètre euclidien, de fil euclidien, qui est un principe...
Geometric.
Ouais, c'est un principe mathématique et géométrique qui permet, dans ce cas-là par exemple, quand Math réduit la densité de la séquence, permet de réduire la densité de façon rythmique.
It's putting notes in and then making some space, but putting the space in a rhythmically interesting place.
C'est ce que j'ai dit.
And Euclidean rhythm was only invented in 2004 by, what was the guy's name? Mr. Toastman? It sounded French.
Ouais.
Anyway, look up Euclidean rhythm and you'll find it. But what's interesting is the way that this generates rhythms which are like world rhythms, commonly used rhythms from around the world. Let's have a go. You see, if I have it set to 16, then I'll just get a normal arpeggio. I'll turn the
Donc,
auto
nouvelle
evolve off.
séquence.
But if I turn the fill down, that means the 13 there. Can you see that? Right? Out of the 16 notes, I'm going to have 13 notes and 3 spaces. So let's try that.
Donc il a enlevé de 16 notes, il est passé à 13.
See, that's already more interesting than a normal arpeggio. And we'll look at a rhythmic rack in a minute. Prime numbers particularly interesting. Let's try a nice 11. Are we going to say I need to put the metronome on, then you'll hear a bit more. So I hope you hear what I mean about Steve Reich. This is a way to get some different types of rhythms. And Euclidean rhythms are found in many world rhythms.
Donc ce sont des rythmes qu'on trouve dans toutes les musiques du monde.
Okay, I'm going to switch to a drum pack now because I get particularly good drum rhythms out of this.
Donc nous passons sur un midi-volve avec des drums.
So here I've got, again, the MIDI-volve, the sequencer, and then the instrument, the sound rack is a drum rack of 32 samples, 16 samples.
Donc cette fois-ci, on est avec toujours le sequencer et un drum rack de 16 samples.
Let's try a Euclidean rhythm of 13 on that. That's quite Latin. So I got a Latin feel or something like that, I would say.
Donc ça sonne assez latin.
Try something with a kick. So I know the kick's on 1, so if I include that in my arpeggio, I'll get some kicks in there. Let's
Il
try
va jouer
that.
le kick.
So again, it's got quite a nice swing to it. Again, it's about making space. 12 will give us something a bit more normal, but also quite interesting. Have to watch out for the crash. Oh, yeah. I like that. Then, so now I've got my riff. Again, I can keep messing around with it. I can keep changing it. Let's double the length and then try a little evolve.
Donc il va élever la longueur des notes.
So if I don't like, for example, that crash, I'll move it to something else.
Il n'aimait pas la crash.
And over here, these racks, which were designed with Burr, he's made a really good job of building some interesting racks and putting some nice effects on them. For instance, this oscillator volume.
Donc les racks ont été conçus avec des effets qui sont super intéressants, notamment le volume de l'oscillateur.
Well, we all know that one.
Ok.
Let's go somewhere else. Now we're hearing the oscillator now.
On entend l'oscillateur maintenant.
Sometimes you don't know where the one is,
Ouais, quelquefois, on ne sait pas où est le 1.
but that's good
1, 2, 3,
sometimes.
4.
Let's bring in the other track.
Donc là, il y a les deux pistes qui jouent.
Where are we here? Okay. Breaking it down, making the space, getting rid of the notes one by one,
Donc il fait de l'espace.
and that's it.
En enlevant les notes, simplement, une à une.
Thank you. So, yeah, that's mid-evolve, and like I say, enough respect to Ableton for giving us the chance to put something good out there.
Oui, Matt remercie Ableton de lui avoir donné l'opportunité, enfin, lui avoir demandé en fait de collaborer pour faire mid-evolve pour Ableton.
We may. Does everyone have Max for Live who uses Ableton?
Est-ce que tout le monde a Max for Live?
I think most people, it's included, isn't it, with the full
Yes,
version?
yes.
Well, we may also make a VST version of it as well, and we also may make an app from it, because I think it could be good on the iPad as well. Which brings us over to...
Is it made? Donc Matt disait que mid-evolve est aussi dispo en VST et aussi en app pour iOS. Is it an iOS app?
not yet.
Not yet.
But
It will be.
it will be. We're
Okay.
converting it into C++.
Okay.
So proper code. Then it can be a VST.
Donc
okay.
ça sera un VST. Et
Okay, so
Et
let's
une app.
move on down. Play slideshow.
bon, je crois qu'on va s'asseoir sur le canapé. Are we going to go and sit down? Are we finished?
We're going to do the jam demonstration.
Okay.
You want to do that now? Is that okay?
Ouais, d'accord. Ouais, ouais, ouais.
She's in charge.
Excusez-moi.
So,
Donc Matt maintenant va nous montrer son appli Jam Pro. Alors c'est un petit peu une première qu'il nous a réservée. Il nous a apporté donc son iPad pour nous montrer ce logiciel. Bon, je vais le laisser nous montrer ce que ça fait et puis ensuite on lui posera des questions.
can we mute this, please, sir? Down? Okay. So, yeah, this is a 25-year dream to make a new type of electronic music instrument. The original version you can still find for Android and iOS. And this new version, this is a kind of world exclusive. And I did say we are not going to stream this because we're not quite ready to launch this yet. But as we had the invitation to come here, I wanted to show you guys so you have a first look at it. So we will broadcast the stream after we launch it in February. So this is just for you guys. We will play the audio so you can hear what I'm doing. And my man on the camera will give you an idea of what I'm doing. This will be a live performance, kind of demo. I'm not going to explain anything, but hopefully you can get an idea from the screen of what is going on. So can we see this? Let's switch to the camera, please.
Ok, je vais juste clarifier que ce que Matt va nous montrer, on est désolé, on ne peut pas le streamer sur Internet parce que Jam Pro n'est pas encore sorti. Et que donc, nous vous montrerons le stream plus tard, quand il sera sorti. Mais nous gardons l'audio, nous gardons le feed audio actif. Donc vous pouvez écouter ce que Matt va nous faire. C'est une performance live.
Just for you guys. Okay, so we're here. Thank you. Okay. So we start off in the store with these packs, and here's one which I made from, with my friend Dr. Walker from Berlin. And the app will come with about 6 of these packs, and then there'll be other ones available as well. And also, you'll be able to make your own packs, or sorry, sets, we're calling them now, sets. Everyone's got packs, we've got sets. Let's hear if this is working. Thank you. Thank you. Wow, thank you very much. And just swap back to the camera for 1 second. Excuse me, sir. You just show this bit. Ableton Live Set Export. What I recorded there, each stem individually recorded, straight out to Ableton, load it in, and continue working on it. Okay. So, thank you. Shall we sit down?
Alors, moi, je voulais traduire ce que Matt a dit. Je ne sais pas si vous avez tous compris, mais que ce que Matt a enregistré, là, vous l'avez vu à un moment, il a dit record. Donc, il est passé en mode enregistrement. Et donc, tous les stems, ensuite, il a appuyé sur le bouton exporter sur Ableton. Et en fait, tous les stems enregistrés ont été exportés dans un ALS, qui ensuite peut être lu dans Ableton, bien sûr, dans Live. Matt,
That was fun.
c'était une super performance, merci. On
Thank
s'est
you. I
régalé.
haven't done that before, actually, so it was
Okay.
the first time.
Ok, c'est donc sa première performance sur Jam Pro.
you.
Alors, je voulais te demander pourquoi tu as développé Midivolve au début. On revient un petit peu à Midivolve. Why did you develop it?
I'm not a musician. I do not play the piano,
Okay.
but I love music,
Ouais.
and I wanted to make funky music like musicians who can play. So I used technological help.
Right. Ok, donc Matt n'était pas musicien, il ne savait pas jouer de musique, et il voulait créer un instrument qui lui permette de créer la musique que lui avait envie de faire. Voilà, donc c'est pour ça qu'il a fait Midivolve. Comment est-ce qu'on développe un logiciel? How do you develop software?
I used to be a computer programmer,
Oui, donc il était programmeur d'ordinateur. enfin
but
de
programming
logiciel.
has got very complicated, too complicated for me.
Ouais. Donc programming est devenu très compliqué.
So I work with my programming team,
Ok. Donc il a une équipe de programmeurs.
and I have ideas, and because I used to be a programmer, I have a good idea of what can work, what is possible.
Ok. Donc puis, avec son expérience de programmeur, il a une très bonne idée de ce qui peut marcher, de ce qui ne peut pas marcher.
And I'd like to say thanks to my team. A guy called Yuli Levtov programmed Midivolve,
Ok. Donc c'est une personne qui s'appelle Yui Leftoff qui a programmé Midivolve, que Matt aimerait remercier ici.
and 3 guys, one in Florida, one in France, Antoine Rousseau, great programmer, Chris Rice in Florida, and Matt Davey in Australia. They're my international coding team for Jam.
Ok. Donc il y a trois codeurs internationaux, un en Floride, un en France et un en
Antoine Rousseau,
Antoine Rousseau
he's in Lille.
en France.
Yeah,
Ok.
yeah.
Et le troisième, the third one is from
Chris Rice from Florida,
Flo-
America.
Ok.
Yeah.
Floride. Ok. Est-ce que vous avez des questions pour Matt?
Anything,
Oui?
please go ahead.
Ah, on n'entend pas. Peut-être tu veux venir Ah, sur quelle plateforme est-ce que l'application sera disponible? Laquelle? Jam Pro? Jam Pro. Sur quelle? On which platform will Jam Pro be available?
Jam Pro is available on iOS, iPad. The older version, Ninja Jam, we made available on iPhone and Android, but the new version is too complicated to work on a phone or on the Android. Requires too much resources and it's too difficult to use on a phone.
Ok, donc la version précédente marchait sur iPhone et Android, mais cette version-là a besoin de trop de ressources pour fonctionner sur Android pour l'instant. Donc elle reste sur iPad. Oh, il y a un micro pour toi.
Au niveau de la latence d'utilisation, tout simplement.
Is there much latency? Est-ce qu'il y a beaucoup de latence? Is there much latency?
No. On iOS, very little.
Pratiquement pas.
It's very important that there is no latency. I'm sure we all know about latency.
Yeah.
If you're trying to do something rhythmic, you have to have low latency. But when I press something on there, to my ear, it sounds instant.
Instant, ok.
Yeah.
Il dit que non, il n'y a pas de latence en fait.
Thanks a lot.
Est-ce qu'il y a d'autres questions?
Yes. Est-ce que l'appli a été conçue plutôt pour le live ou plutôt pour la production en studio?
Okay, was the app more conceived for live performance or for music production?
Both.
Les deux.
I love Ableton, and before Ableton I used Logic and C-Lab Creator and Cubase, but the limitations of the timeline, and also sometimes it can get a bit boring moving little bits of audio around. So I wanted something more live.
Okay, donc Matt s'est servi de pas mal de doses DAWs tels que Creator, donc sur Atari.
Yeah, back to the Atari.
Yes.
Yeah.
Et enfin des logiciels avec une timeline, et en fait il trouvait que c'était un petit peu ennuyeux de simplement de bouger des clips sur une timeline. Et donc, il voulait faire quelque chose qui soit plus réactif, plus instantané.
I love playing with the instrument just for the enjoyment and to play live, but I also want to use that for making music for production. So both are equally important.
Voilà, donc lui-même, il s'en sert pour les deux. Pour
I-
le fan de jouer live et pour la création aussi.
You may have noticed during the jam, I used another synthesizer input into jam using audio bus.
Ah, il dit qu'il s'est servi d'un autre synthétiseur pour rentrer dans Jam en utilisant AudioBus. Et qu'est-ce que c'est AudioBus? What is AudioBus?
Audio bus is a bit of software, an app, that lets you route audio from one app to another inside the iPad.
iPad, ok. Donc AudioBus, c'est un logiciel qui permet de router de l'audio d'une application à l'autre, un petit peu comme Soundflower sur notre Mac.
So, you know, Ableton has all these, it has the sample capabilities and the synthesizer capabilities. But I didn't want to put synthesizers into Jam, but we found another way, which is there are many excellent synthesizers and drum machine apps. And now using AudioBus, I can use them as inputs and record them straight into Jam.
Oui, donc Ableton a beaucoup de synthétiseurs, etc. Mais AudioJam n'en a pas. Et en fait, avec what do you call it?
AudioBus.
I forgot. Avec AudioBus, il peut donc connecter, dans Jam Pro, il peut connecter des synthétiseurs de tierces parties dans l'iPad. Alors, can you connect hardware? Est-ce
Yes.
qu'on peut connecter de hardware?
Yes. The iPad has a port. You can plug in a sound card. I have a very good, well, simple Behringer 20 euro sound card. I plug that in. I can record any source directly into Jam using this.
Is it MIDI?
No. But the gentleman was asking about recording audio in, right?
Non, je crois.
MIDI. Yes.
Hardware synth.
Glad to say.
Ok, la question. Ouais.
So you mean, for example, a controller?
Yeah, or maybe
If you can use external controller.
maybe just a MIDI analog synthesizer with MIDI input-output.
Ouais, on parle de connecter un synthétiseur MIDI, par exemple.
Yes, and to maybe play with it into your Jam Pro.
Pour jouer dans
Yes.
Jam Pro.
The answer, but in my mind, if you had a synthesizer, you can record the audio in using a small interface. If you want to use a controller, a launch pad or something like
Right.
this, you can map all MIDI, all Jam controls can be mapped to hardware MIDI.
Ah, wow,
With
tous les contrôles
MIDI
de
learn.
Jam peuvent être mappés à des contrôleurs MIDI.
Yeah.
Oui.
What I was thinking is just you have, I don't know, maybe analog synthesizer, or maybe not analog, just hardware synthesizer, and just you can sequence the notes from the synthesizer into your Jam Pro and play with different hardware and also software via AudioBus, and to play with software and hardware and controlling everything into your app.
I think the answer is yes.
Ok.
Thank you.
Donc apparemment, nous
Thank
avons
you.
un contrôle MIDI qui peut contrôler un synthé externe.
On the iPad, there's AudioBus and there's another one called Aum, and this lets you route MIDI around from external to internal with a lot of flexibility. So the answer is yes, you can do most things.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Wow. Ok. Est-ce que vous avez d'autres questions?
C'est à peu près la même question, quoi. On peut utiliser les arpégiateurs de l'application pour utiliser différents générateurs de son directement sur l'application, quoi. C'était un peu la réponse, mais plus précisément, tous les arpégiateurs, on peut les utiliser, par exemple un mini brut ou un autre synthé, mais de Jam avec les arpégiateurs, tous les arpégiateurs qu'il y a dedans, on peut les utiliser. Contrôler arpégé.
De MIDI-Volve?
Voilà.
Avec l'arpégiateur de MIDI-Volve?
Voilà.
Ok,
Yes.
so we're talking about MIDI-Volve.
Yes.
Et est-ce que l'arpégiateur de MIDI-Volve peut contrôler des synthés externes?
Exactement.
Ok, so
Yes.
can MIDI-Volve
How?
You,
To connect.
in Ableton, you route the MIDI output
Okay.
to a MIDI bus, which can be a hardware MIDI interface,
Okay.
or a synthesizer on another channel. But also with hardware, you would use a MIDI interface, MIDI Volve, MIDI output, MIDI interface, connect to the synthesizer, control it. I have had already quite a lot of fun controlling external MIDI synths with
Ok.
MIDI Volve.
Donc
Okay,
ça marche
nice.
comme un séquenceur MIDI.
You can use also the two controller streams, the what are they called? I can't remember. The two maps.
Oh, il y a
The
des-
two maps can go out and control, for example, CV. Right.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good
Ok.
fun.
Donc les
Yeah.
deux fonctions map 1 et map 2 qu'on a vu dans MIDI Volve, elles peuvent être utilisées pour contrôler CV aussi, CV Gate, j'imagine.
Yeah.
Ouais, les deux CV et Gate. Et donc le MIDI Volve peut très bien contrôler complètement un synthétiseur externe ou un sampler ou autre chose d'ailleurs. Ouais.
Okay.
I might have a stupid question.
Go right ahead.
Can you? That's my specialty. Can you import your own samples, like in the interface?
Very good question. When we started, can you import your own samples? Yeah. Into Jam Pro, yes?
Jam Pro. Ok, la question est, est-ce qu'on peut importer ces samples dans Jam Pro?
Oui, c'est
Yes.
ça.
When we started Ninja Jam, everyone was a bit angry because they said, it's great, but I want to import my own samples.
Ok, donc quand ils ont fait Ninja Jam, tout le monde a dit, eh ben c'est très chouette, mais je veux importer mes samples.
Now you can, 100% yes.
Maintenant
Bravo.
on peut dans Jam Pro. Ça c'est un bon, comment dire, un good improvement, good step
Yes,
forward.
a good step forward.
Good
yes.
step forward.
It's the number one feature requested. So. Happy to answer questions about Ninja Tune or
Oui, c'est
music
ça.
business
Je pensais
generally.
que peut-être vous auriez des questions sur le label, le fait que des questions d'artistes à label.
Moi j'ai une question, c'est où est-ce qu'il en est sur le travail audiovisuel, si c'est toujours dans ses cordes, si c'est toujours quelque chose qui le préoccupe par rapport à tout le visuel, la synchronisation du visuel, notamment via MaxMSP ou peut-être des applications qui peuvent se faire s'il y a eu des travails depuis, parce qu'il en parlait au début, comment il synchronisait et tout, mais au niveau du live, qu'est-ce qui a été fait? Parce que là on voyait le double fader qui synchronisait le son et l'image ensemble, mais maintenant on a d'autres outils. Est-ce qu'il y a des choses qui ont été faites?
Didn't
So
get that.
I think he was asking a bit about where are you in the audiovisual side of things. You know, where you were talking about one effect, that would be an audio and a visual effect simultaneously,
Yes.
etc. So are you still working on all this?
Yes. And this is my wife, Dinar's here.
Oui.
And we've- so, my most important influence nowadays. And
Donc-
we do an audiovisual show together.
Ok.
And another function of Jam is each control sends out MIDI.
Ok.
Then we connect this to a VJ program, for example, Resolume or VDMX.
Okay.
So for each set in Ninja Tune, a set has these different samples. We make video banks with different video clips.
Connect.
One sound fires one sample, and also if you turn on, for example, the distortion
Yeah.
in Jam Pro, it will,
Filter. Okay.
it will turn on a distortion-like
Nice.
effect
Perfect.
in Resolume, and this is quite good fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ok, donc ce que Matt vient de nous expliquer, c'est que en fait son évolution audiovisuelle maintenant, en partant de Jam Pro, est que Jam Pro émet un signal MIDI chaque fois qu'un contrôle est touché, déclenché, et que pour toutes les banques de samples qu'il y a dans Jam Pro, il y a des banques de visuels correspondants dans un logiciel par exemple comme Resolume, et que les effets de Jam Pro sont partagés avec les effets qui sont sur les clips audio, les samples audio dans Jam Pro sont partagés avec les samples vidéo dans Resolume. Et d'ailleurs, c'est sa femme Dinaz, qu'il vient de nous présenter tout à l'heure, qui s'occupe de la vidéo. C'est ça? Ouais. Super.
Hello, that's maybe a less technical question, but more artistical. Now everybody can do music, and that's great. But for you, what makes the difference between everybody and something that everybody wants to listen to?
It's a tough question. What makes the difference between my music and something that everyone wants to listen?
I didn't get that.
Just to say that it's great that everybody can do music with Ableton, with Jam Pro, and I think it's great that everybody can express themselves. But what for you make the difference between everybody and an artist you want to sign on Ninja Tune, for example?
Okay, so what for you makes qu'est-ce qui fait la différence entre quelqu'un qui est chouette et quelqu'un que tu as envie de signer, je pense. C'est ça la question? Okay, what makes you decide to sign an artist, basically?
All the artists on Ninja Tune have some special character, and that character is manifested in their music. So, Mr. Scruff, Kid Koala, Bonobo, they have a character which you can feel from their music. A personality, a unique identity, a unique experience. And
Yes. Matt expliquait que tous les artistes qui sont signés chez Ninja sont des personnes qui ont une personnalité très importante, enfin qui ont un caractère au sens de la personnalité, un mot anglais, et que cette personnalité est traduite dans leur musique. Et donc voilà, ce sont tous des artistes qui ont cette habilité à traduire leur personne dans leur musique.
we will not sign someone who sounds like Bonobo, because we have Bonobo already. There's only one.
Oui, il dit qu'ils n'ont pas besoin de trouver quelqu'un qui sonne comme Bonobo parce qu'ils ont déjà Bonobo. Donc ils sont.
But
Voilà.
we are all mixtures of all influences. We're mixtures of influences. I'm not saying do not listen to Bonobo. You can listen to Bonobo, be influenced by Bonobo, and you can even copy Bonobo. I started by copying. But in the end, what is important is putting your own experience and character into the mix.
Voilà, il dit qu'on peut très bien copier Bonobo. D'ailleurs, il n'y a rien contre, et que lui-même a commencé par copier d'autres artistes, mais que, en fin de compte, ce qui est important, c'est que ce soit votre personnalité qui soit encodée dans la musique, que c'est ça qui va lui donner sa valeur.
The jazz musician Thelonious Monk said, "Everyone is a genius at being themselves." And if we can discover that and follow that, then we will discover how to be a successful artist, I think.
Oui, c'est le musicien de jazz Thelonious Monk qui avait dit que tout le monde devrait être un génie à être eux-mêmes, ou être soi-même.
Difficult to translate, huh?
Wise words, thank you. I got a question also. Laura, a question. So how would you get in touch as a musician with Ninja Tune to show them your music and get a chance to get in the label?
Alors ça c'est la question, comment joindre Ninja Tune pour leur soumettre de la musique? Oui. How do you contact Ninja Tune to submit your music?
There is an email address, demos@ninjatune.net, and you can send no cassette tapes, please.
Donc il y a une adresse qui est demos
Yes.
@ninjatune.net et surtout n'envoyez pas de CD, etc. You want,
The music business now, it's so easy and so hard. Things have really changed. You know, as this lady said, everyone can make music now, and lots of people want to make music. But, you know, on Spotify, every day, 40,000 new tracks.
Ok, Matt dit qu'il y a beaucoup de gens qui font de la musique et que maintenant sur Spotify, il y a 40 000 nouveaux morceaux par jour.
So getting noticed is very difficult now. But it is important when you send your demo to Ninja Tune, I'm sorry, in a way I'm embarrassed to admit this, but we do not just listen to your demo. We look at social media, we see what kind of reaction you are getting. You know, if no one else is interested, why would we be interested? That is a hard truth.
Ok, elle m'a dit que maintenant, quand un artiste soumet une démo à Ninja Tune, en fait, Ninja va voir sur Internet quel est l'impact sur les réseaux sociaux. Est-ce qu'il y a des gens qui sont intéressés dans votre musique? Et que si très très peu de gens sont intéressés, pourquoi est-ce que Ninja eux-mêmes seraient intéressés? Voilà. Et que tristement, on en est arrivé là parce qu'il y a tellement de musique partout que je pense que c'est très difficile.
This is not the whole story, but it's worth bearing this in mind. And one thing that this has stayed constant through the years of the music business is playing live works. Playing live to give people a good time, to say they've seen a good show, then they will support you. The reason Bonobo is so successful is he has been touring for years and years, slowly building his success. Not one big viral sensation, but building it up with live performance. And if you can do a good live show, it's an important part of what you're offering, in my opinion.
Ok. Donc une grosse part d'une décision d'un label à signer un artiste, c'est se rappeler que ce qui est important, c'est de jouer live et que ça se passe bien, que les gens aient envie de vous revoir et essayer d'augmenter votre audience. Et qu'il prenait l'exemple de Bonobo, par exemple, qui n'a pas été révélé du jour au lendemain comme un artiste extraordinaire. Il a passé des années à tourner, à jouer. Et c'est comme ça qu'il a agrandi son audience, il a agrandi son public. Et que donc, il a tout à fait mérité d'être chez Ninja.
Thank you.
And I have a question. I've got a couple of questions. So how does Ninja Tune discover talent? Or does talent come to Ninja?
Well, it's a good question. We try to discover, and we do from time to time discover, and a lot of talent comes to us. Things, come through your network. Sometimes people are friends of people who work at the label. This has happened. One time, Cinematic Orchestra, Jason, was working in the Ninja Tune office. And as a hobby, more or less, he put out a record. And we said, this is fucking great, let's do something with it.
Ok, donc il y a pas mal de bouche à oreille, il y a pas mal de situations. Souvent, ça se passe au niveau du réseau. Ils essayent effectivement de découvrir des artistes. Et ils prenaient l'exemple de Jason de Cinematic Orchestra, qui en fait travaillait à Ninja, et qui faisait de la musique pour le plaisir, et qui a fait un album. Et quand l'équipe de Ninja a entendu l'album, ils se sont dit, c'est super, et on va essayer de faire quelque chose avec. Voilà, donc ils l'ont signé. Is there an artist you would like to have on Ninja Tunes?
Well, if I be honest, I'm quite upset we didn't get Flying Lotus. And he was staying on the Friends floor in Brixton, and we were in touch, but we didn't tune into it. We had Kate Tempest and lost her to another label. I was quite upset about that. The artist I'm sorry we haven't got is one that hasn't been discovered yet. Maybe one of you guys.
Okay. Ils ont raté le coche avec Flying Lotus. Ils n'ont pas compris qui il allait être. Et ils ont signé Kate Tempest pendant un moment, mais elle est partie sur un autre label. Et le prochain grand artiste de Ninja est à venir. On ne sait pas qui. Peut-être un de vous ici. Ou un de vous qui nous écoutez sur Internet.
Yes, Peggy Goo is on Ninja Tune. I think the last year she became famous and she works with Ninja Tune. Peggy Goo, you know.
Peggy Goo.
Peggy Goo, yeah.
Peggy Goo, we signed her. We put out that fantastic 12-inch, fantastic
I
track.
had it, yes.
And then she signed to someone bigger for a lot of money.
Donc Peggy Boo, oui, a fait un maxi génial chez Ninja Tune et ensuite elle est allée signer chez un plus gros label avec plus d'argent.
And is the label Big Dada always exist? The label Big Dada, they work with Ninja Tune before, no? Big Dada, and le label Big Dada.
Big Dada?
Big Dada.
Yes.
It was a label working with Ninja Tune, no?
Do you still have Big Dada?
Do we still have Big Dada? Yes, we do. Young Fathers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who some people call the most exciting new band in the UK. I think they're great. Big Dada, the guy who started it was a guy called Will Ashen. He wanted to do something for UK hip-hop. And he started the label with us, and we put out some great records. At the moment, I think Big Dada's gathering strength for the next stage.
Ok, donc Big Dada a démarré avec Ninja pour promouvoir le hip-hop, hein?
Yeah.
Pour promouvoir le British hip-hop, le hip-hop anglais.
Like Roots Maneuver.
Avec Roots Maneuver, par exemple. Et Big Data est en train de grandir. Est-ce que nous avons encore des questions pour Matt? Une dernière.
Merci, bonjour. Je voulais savoir quel était votre processus pour accompagner les artistes dans la création musicale. Par exemple, j'avais regardé une interview de Jordan Raquet, il disait que du coup le label Ninja Tune l'avait vachement aidé pour la production et la composition de l'album Wallflower. Et je voulais savoir quel était votre rôle là-dedans. Voilà.
Quel est l'accompagnement que Ninja donne à ses artistes?
Oui, voilà.
Peut-être
artistiquement, ouais.
Artistiquement, oui. Okay, the question is about how do you, what is the Ninja's contribution to the artist artistically? Is there sort of, what is the...
What are the guidelines, if there is any?
Is there artistic guidance? Yeah.
Yes. When we signed to a label, they were trying to tell us what to do with our music, and we didn't really like it. So when we started Ninja Tune, we wanted it to be artist-led. The artist would have the final say.
Okay, ils disent que quand ils ont démarré, ils ont signé sur des labels, mais leur label leur disait ce qu'il fallait faire et que ça leur plaisait pas du tout. Et donc, quand ils ont lancé Ninja, ils ont décidé que le label était guidé artistiquement par les artistes.
This is called A&R, yeah? But the A&R guy is always the bad guy. The A&R guy would usually say, turn the snare up, turn the vocal up. That was it.
C'est ça, c'est le A&R man dans les labels qui disait toujours mettez plus de caisse claire, mettez plus de ceci ou cela, et en fait lui il ne connaissait rien du tout, mais il voulait avoir une opinion et c'était très très ennuyeux.
But I know that, well actually Coldcut, my group, we talk a lot to our people at Ninja Tune to try and make our records better. We listen to them and then we make up our own mind. But actually advice and feedback and objective opinion from someone who likes you and wants to help you is very valuable sometimes. And I think we provide this to our artists.
Okay. Donc ils sont en communication avec leurs artistes, sur le contenu artistique bien sûr, et que tout le monde au sein de l'équipe trouve une valeur dans une critique constructive.
Yeah, and it's hard sometimes to know yourself what something sounds like. A good feedback gives you a sense of who your audience are, helps you understand your audience, because this can be hard to understand sometimes. And like I say, intelligent feedback is a good thing, and that's what we try to give our artists.
Ouais, donc ce qu'ils essaient de donner à leurs artistes, c'est un retour intelligent parce que ça sera probablement, le retour lui-même sera probablement une très bonne réflexion de qui est leur audience ou de ce que leur audience aurait pensé, hein, leur public.
I think we make better records with this communication, this dialogue.
Ils disent que grâce avec cette communication artiste et label, ils ont fait des meilleurs disques.
It has happened that there have been disagreements with artists, and the artist says it's got to be this way. And if the label thinks that, well, if you make that record your way, it's just going to not sell and we're going to lose a lot of money, we might say, okay, sorry, we can't put this out. It has on occasion happened. Yeah.
Ok, ils disent que quelquefois, il est arrivé plusieurs fois que l'artiste insiste sur un point artistique et que le label, la position du label soit que le label est certain que à cause de cette décision artistique, le disque ne va pas vendre et que dans ce cas-là, ils sont obligés de ne pas le sortir.
I say from Coldcut's point of view, the good thing is you can't be dropped when you own the label.
Il dit que du point de vue de Coldcut, évidemment, ils ne peuvent pas ne pas sortir leur disque puisque c'est leur label. Do we have any more questions? Okay. Well, Matt, thank you very much. Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.